What's good, Raiders Nation? It's your boy, hyped up and ready to dive into some massive NFL news that could change the game for our Las Vegas Raiders. The NFL is buzzing about adding an 18th game to the regular season. And trust me, this is a game changer, pun intended. Will it boost our silver and black's chances or wear our boys down? Let's unpack this. Picture this. Allegiant Stadium roaring with fans. Max Crosby hunting quarterbacks for an extra game. But at what cost? The NFL's been tinkering with the schedule for years, and now Commissioner Roger Goodell's pushing for more. This isn't just about extra football. It's about strategy, player health, and our Raiders' shot at glory. Here's the deal. The league's been floating this 18-game idea, with some saying it's inevitable. But the players, including our Raiders, aren't sold yet. It's a tug-of-war between more revenue for the NFL and the physical toll on guys like Ashton, Jeanty, and Brock Bowers. Stick with me as we break it down. So, Raiders Nation, what's your take? Would you love an extra game to cheer on our squad? Or are you worried about our players' health? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's kick this off with the big picture. All right, let's set the stage. The NFL's always looking to level up, from international games to rule changes that keep fans glued to their screens. Back in 2021, they bumped the regular season from 16 to 17 games, and now, whispers of an 18th game are getting louder. The Washington Post reports that formal talks with the NFL Players Association won't even start until early 2026. So this isn't happening tomorrow, but it's coming. For the Raiders, this could mean more chances to shine in the spotlight of Allegiant Stadium, especially with new blood like Ashton Jeanty, our 2025 first-round pick. But here's the catch. More games mean more wear and tear on our roster. Imagine Davante Adams running routes for an extra week. Electric but exhausting. The NFL's logic? More games, more revenue, more global reach. Commissioner Goodell's been vocal about wanting fans to get more action. Maybe swapping a preseason game for an 18th regular season clash. Sound fun, right? But not everyone's on board, especially the players who take the hits. So what do you think, Nation? Is the NFL pushing too hard for more games? Or is this the future of football? Let's keep digging into what this means for our Raiders. Now, let's talk about the Raiders specifically. Our team's been grinding to turn things around after a rough 4-13 season in 2024. With Pete Carroll as head coach and John Spytek as GM, the Silver and Black are building something special. They've added firepower like Geno Smith and Jermaine Pratt, per ESPN and Yardbarker. But an 18th game? That's a whole new beast. Think about Max Crosby, our four-time Pro Bowler locked in with a $106.5 million extension. The dude's a machine, but even machines need rest. An extra game could stretch our stars thin, especially in a brutal AFC West where we're battling Mahomes and the Chiefs. More games might mean more injuries, and we can't afford to lose our core. On the flip side, an 18th game gives our young guns like Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty more chances to prove themselves. Imagine Jeanty breaking tackles in a primetime showdown. That's the kind of highlight reel we live for. But will the reward outweigh the risk? Raiders Nation, would an extra game help our squad build momentum? Or is it a recipe for burnout? Hit the comments and let's keep this convo rolling. Let's zoom out to the NFL's perspective. According to Reuters, Commissioner Goodell's all in on this 18-game push, saying fans prefer more regular season action over preseason snooze fests. And let's be real, 2 preseason games instead of 3 sounds like a win for everyone. But there's a catch, and it's a big one: player safety. The NFLPA, led by Lloyd Howell, is pumping the brakes. Yahoo Sports quoted Howell saying, "No one wants to play an 18th game." Why? Because players like our Raiders are already pushing their bodies to the limit. An extra game means more hits, more travel, and more risk of injuries that could derail a season or a career. The league's dangling carrots, though. Bleacher Report suggests players might negotiate for a bigger revenue share, a second bye week, or larger rosters to ease the load. For our Raiders, a deeper roster could mean more snaps for guys like Shaquille Griffin, who visited the team recently, per ESPN. What's your call, Nation? Should the players hold firm? Or is there a deal that could make an 18th game work? Let's dive deeper into the risks next. Player health is the heart of this debate, and it hits home for us Raiders fans. Our team's been rebuilding, and we're counting on stars like Max Crosby and Davante Adams to stay healthy. The Economic Times notes the NFLPA's worried about the toll of added games and travel, especially for teams like ours with a tough schedule. Hondo Carpenter, on the Las Vegas Raiders Insider podcast, dropped a bombshell. A top NFL figure warned that adding games risks diluting the importance of each matchup. Right now, every Raiders game feels like a playoff fight. Think of that electric vibe at Allegiant Stadium. But with 18 games, could we lose that edge? Imagine Crosby chasing sacks in Week 18, already banged up from a long season, or Adams tweaking a hamstring because there's no time to recover. The NFLPA's stance is clear. They want guarantees that player safety comes first. And as fans, we want our Raiders healthy for a playoff push. So, Raiders Nation, are you worried about our stars getting worn down? Or do you trust our training staff to keep them in fighting shape? Drop your thoughts below. Let's flip the coin. What could an 18th game mean for the Raiders strategy? With Pete Carroll's experience and Chip Kelly as offensive coordinator per CBS Sacramento, our team's poised for a dynamic 2025. An extra game could be a chance to flex our new offensive and defensive schemes, as Motorcycle Sports reported. Picture this: Geno Smith airing it out to Brock Bowers in a clutch Week 18 moment, with Allegiant Stadium shaking. More games mean more opportunities for our revamped roster to gel, especially with additions like Ashton, Jeanty, who could be a game breaker against tired defenses late in the season. But here's the rub. Our depth will be tested. Yard Barker says we've made big moves, but our 2024 turnover differential was among the league's worst. An 18th game could expose weaknesses if we don't tighten up. Will Carroll's leadership keep us sharp, or will fatigue set in? Raiders Nation, do you think our new-look squad could thrive with an extra game, or are we risking too much? Let's talk about the fans' perspective next. Hondo Carpenter's point on the Las Vegas Raiders Insider podcast hit hard. The NFL's magic comes from how much every game matters. With only 17 games now, each Raiders clash feels like a must-win. Add another, and we might start seeing half-empty stadiums late in the season, like in other sports. That's not the Raiders' way. Still, an extra home game at Allegiant could be electric. Imagine Tom Brady, our minority owner, hyping up the crowd for a late-season thriller per Silver and Black Pride. But if our players are gassed, will the product on the field live up to our passion? What's the vibe, Nation? Would you pack Allegiant for an 18th game, or are you worried it'll water down the Raiders' experience? Let's keep this fire going. Now, let's talk business. The NFL's eyeing dollar signs with an 18th game. The Washington Post says the league wants a deal with the NFLPA before new broadcasting contracts, which could rake in billions. For the Raiders, more games mean more revenue for owner Mark Davis to invest in the team. Think about it. More primetime slots for Las Vegas. More chances for fans worldwide to see our silver and black dominate. But the players want their cut, and rightfully so. Bleacher Report mentions a second-by-week or bigger rosters as possible trade-offs. For us, that could mean more depth to keep guys like Jermaine Pratt fresh. The catch? The NFLPA's not budging yet. Reuters says they're holding off talks until 2026, and players like ours are saying, not so fast. They know the grind of an NFL season, and an 18th game could push them past their limits. Raiders Nation, what's more important? More revenue for our team or protecting our players' health? Hit the comments and let's break it down. Raiders Nation, we've dissected this 18-game proposal from every angle, and it's clear the NFL's at a crossroads and our Las Vegas Raiders are right in the middle. More games could mean more glory for our squad, but the cost to our players' health and the game's intensity is real. This fight's just getting started, and we'll be watching every move. As we head into 2025, let's rally behind Pete Carroll, Max Crosby, and our revamped roster. Whether it's 17 or 18 games, we're here for the silver and black, ready to storm Allegiant Stadium and make some noise. Stay tuned to Las Vegas Raiders news for the latest updates as this story unfolds. What's your final take, Nation? Are you pumped for a potential 18th game, or do you want the NFL to pump the brakes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and share this video with every Raiders fan you know. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a beat from Las Vegas Raiders news. Let's keep the fire burning, Raiders Nation. Until next time, just win, baby.